The Businessman's Guide to Value Power. Introduction: a new way to see business. Business is often taught and talked about in a very simple way. You offer a product or a service, and someone pays you for it. It's a straightforward transaction. You sell, they buy. That's it, right? Not quite. If that's how you've been thinking about business, as a series of transactions, then this book is here to help you take a much deeper look. Because real success in business doesn't come from just selling things. It comes from creating genuine value. It comes from seeing your work not just as a way to make money, but as a way to solve real problems, meet real needs, and make a real difference in people's lives. That's the shift we're going to work toward together. By the time you finish reading this book, I want you to see your business and yourself differently. Instead of focusing purely on what you sell, you'll start focusing on why people need what you offer in the first place. You'll start asking better questions. What problem am I solving? What need am I meeting? How am I improving someone's life with this product or service? When you start thinking that way, everything changes. Your marketing becomes more effective because you're speaking directly to people's real desires and challenges. Your sales become more natural because you're offering solutions, not pushing products. And your customers become more loyal because they see you not just as a seller, but as a trusted partner in their lives. Why this shift matters? Let's be honest. There are already millions of products and services out there. No matter what you sell, chances are you have competition. Someone else is offering something similar, maybe even at a lower price. So how do you stand out? The answer isn't louder ads, flashier discounts, or gimmicks. The answer is value. Real, meaningful, human-centered value. When you approach business with the goal of solving problems and meeting needs, you start to separate yourself from the crowd. People can tell when you genuinely care about helping them. They can feel the difference between a company that's just after their money and one that's actually committed to making their lives better. And here's the beautiful part. When you focus on creating value first, the money usually follows naturally. In fact, it often multiplies. Because when people trust you, when they feel you understand them, they're not just willing to buy once, they come back. They tell their friends. They become advocates for your business. That kind of organic growth is far more powerful and sustainable than chasing quick sales with endless promotions. Transactional versus transformational. Think of business in two ways: transactional and transformational. A transactional business says, "Here's what I sell. Do you want it?" A transformational business says, "Here's how I can help you. Here's how your life can be better." The difference might seem subtle at first, but it's massive. Transactional businesses are everywhere. They focus on the sale and move on. Transformational businesses, on the other hand, build relationships. They stay connected. They create experiences, not just purchases. When you shift from a transactional mindset to a transformational one, you'll notice changes not just in how others respond to your business, but in how you feel about it yourself. Work becomes more fulfilling. Challenges feel more meaningful. Success becomes about impact, not just income. Understanding value at a deeper level. When most people hear the word value in business, they think about price. Is this product worth what it costs? But true value goes way beyond numbers on a price tag. Value is about the emotional payoff. It's about how someone feels after interacting with your business. It's about the confidence they gain, the stress they avoid, the time they save, the joy they experience. It's about the ways you make their life easier, better, happier, or more complete. For example, a coffee shop isn't just selling coffee. It's selling a moment of peace in a busy morning, a small treat to look forward to, or a space to catch up with friends. A clothing brand isn't just selling shirts and pants. It's selling confidence, self-expression, and the feeling of fitting in or standing out. A software company isn't just selling apps. It's selling convenience, efficiency, and less. frustration in daily work. Every business, no matter how big or small, is ultimately in the business of improving someone's life in some way. When you really internalize that, you start to see endless opportunities to serve better, connect deeper, and grow faster. A commitment to service at its core. Business is about service. It's about helping others get what they want or need. When you wake up every day focused on serving, not just selling, you operate at a higher level. You tap into the real purpose behind entrepreneurship, making a positive impact. Throughout this book, we're going to explore how to create that kind of value intentionally. We'll dive into practical strategies, real-world examples, and mindset shifts that will help you not only build a better business, but become a better leader, communicator, and problem solver. You'll learn how to truly understand your customers, how to design offerings that speak directly to their needs, and how to communicate your value in ways that build trust and inspire loyalty. This journey isn't just about learning a few new sales techniques or marketing tricks. It's about building a foundation that can carry you through the highs and lows of business ownership with clarity, confidence, and authenticity. Your role as a value creator. As you move through these pages, I want you to see yourself as more than just a business owner, entrepreneur, or salesperson. I want you to see yourself as a value creator. You have the power to make people's lives better, to solve real problems, to meet real needs, to deliver real joy, relief, inspiration, or peace of mind. That's no small thing. That's something to be proud of. The more you lean into that role, the more successful you'll become, not just financially, but personally. Because success built on service and value is the kind of success that feels good, lasts long, and creates ripples that go far beyond just you. So let's begin. Let's shift the way you see business and the way you show up in it forever. Chapter 1. An Introduction to Value Power. Let's start with a simple question. What is value? In business, the word value gets thrown around a lot. Some people talk about it like it's a mystical force. Others treat it purely as numbers on a balance sheet. But at its core, value is actually very simple. In business, value is anything people are willing to pay for. That's it. If people see something as valuable, they'll pull out their wallets for it. If they don't, no matter how important or good you think it is, they won't. Business value is tied directly to the willingness to pay. And yes, like it or not, money is the measuring stick. When we talk about value in business, we're not talking about what should be valuable according to some moral or logical scale. We're talking about what feels valuable to people, because that's what drives action, purchases, loyalty, and ultimately profits. Now, this leads to an important distinction that many entrepreneurs miss. There's a big difference between what is objectively valuable and what people perceive as valuable. You might think that things like education, healthcare, building infrastructure, or teaching future generations are more important jobs than, say, playing football or starring in a reality TV show. And from a purely logical standpoint, you'd be right. Construction workers build the cities we live in. Teachers shape the minds of tomorrow. Accountants help businesses stay afloat. Objectively, their contributions to society are huge. But here's the kicker. Objective value doesn't always translate into perceived value. Let's look at a real-world example. Ever notice that reality TV stars, like the Kardashians, make more money than most teachers? That top football players rake in millions more than construction workers, even though one group is literally building the physical world we live in? It feels unfair at first, right? But when you understand how value works in a capitalist system, it actually makes perfect sense. Capitalism 101. People pay for what they want, not necessarily for what's important. In a capitalist economy, money follows attention and desire. People pay for things that entertain them, inspire them, and make them feel good or help them escape, even if those things aren't objectively important in the grand scheme of society. The reason football players make millions is simple. Millions of people are willing to pay to watch them play. The reason the Kardashians built billion-dollar empires is just as simple. Millions of people find entertainment, escapism, and connection in their shows, brands, and lifestyles, and they're willing to spend money to be part of it. Meanwhile, essential workers like teachers, construction workers, and accountants, though deeply important to the structure and functioning of society, don't attract the same mass consumer demand. Their work is necessary, even critical, but it doesn't generate the same excitement, emotional engagement, or entertainment value that pulls millions of people to spend money willingly. This isn't a judgment. It's just an observation of how human nature and economics intersect. Understanding this gives you power once you truly internalize this truth, that people will pay for what they feel is valuable, not what is objectively valuable. You unlock a different level of business thinking. Instead of feeling frustrated that the world doesn't always reward the most important work, you can focus on understanding what people actually want and how you can deliver it in a way that resonates with them. Value, in the eyes of the customer, is emotional first and logical second. It's not always about needs. It's often about wants. It's not always about survival. It's about feeling good, feeling seen, feeling connected, feeling entertained. When you start seeing the world through that lens, you begin to see opportunities everywhere. You start to think differently about your products, your services, your messaging, and even how you position yourself in the marketplace. This excerpt is from the ebook, The Businessman's Guide to Value Power. If you enjoyed it and want to read more, you can purchase the full ebook from my online store. As a bonus, when you buy one, you'll receive 2 additional ebooks absolutely free. Just click the link in the Facebook post to get started.